we're back for more E3 podcast. Right, more conferences. What's next?
2 more. Sony and Nintendo.
So Nintendo didn't have a conference.
No,
they had a
thing.
Let's show you some stuff.
And the Nintendo Direct.
But Sony had a conference.
Yep.
But they still had Reggie Fils-Aimé standing around going, play the game.
Did they?
Yeah, the booth.
Oh, right, yeah. Hanging around. That booth was cool. I liked all the random crap they had set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weird, classic, just big screen with just Mario standing on it going, it's a Mario! Hello!
That's cool.
Pretty much what it did.
Subtlety-wise, I quite liked the Sony booth had, in the lighting rig above, was, in the shape of all the buttons on the PlayStation
cool.
pad.
They probably do that every
circle, triangle, square. Yes, anyway, so we better get on with they're not even called press conferences, are they? Because they're called media briefings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Sony 2013.
They were calling them the press conferences.
Yeah.
I think it's because they're all bloggers and stuff. They're not actually members of the press anymore. They're not necessarily all NUJ types. They're amateur bloggers. A lot of them are now.
They're kind of, but I don't know.
I'm not sure if there are many amateurs there.
Probably not.
There's a lot of
professional bloggers.
Yeah, every gaming blog is kind of professional, to a degree. Joystick Gizmodo to a limited degree. Even the gadget sites
Yeah,
will
but
be
they're
there.
not mainstream.
Kotaku will be there.
Journalists there, and there's not mainstream.
Giant Bomb will be there. Games Radar will be there. Eurogame will be there. IGN will be there. GameSpot will
Just
be there.
list them all.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
The Saladcast will be there one day. But for the time being, we have
We have me taking notes.
We have Pat taking notes from the live stream, which is probably a better way of getting the information than actually being there with crappy Wi-Fi.
Although apparently they've been pretty hot this year in terms of connectivity.
Well, apparently Ubisoft was good.
Don't know about Sony.
Improved. Let's put it that way.
So anyway, Sony starts with a whole fuck ton of talking, as they often do.
Yeah, it is Sony's way.
They
But
always-
they always talk in a somewhat classy manner, I find. There's somewhat... I don't know, whenever Jack Tretton talks his talk, it always seems somewhat more, I don't know, meant.
Meant.
Or sincere, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, they're not bad. Well, Howard String was a bit crap.
They're much more
But,
natural speakers, perhaps, than... when they roll out Cerny, for instance, there's a certain charm to the way he talks that's just yeah, you know what, you're reeling me in here.
I think the ultimate guy for running a press conference is actually Iwata. He's amazing.
Yeah,
because he kind of is because he speaks English very well, but it's obviously second language thing. So he has this kind of magic spell situation going on where you're like, hanging on his every word. Super awesome. Anyway,
So yeah, they talked about Vita and PS3 for ages, and then they just went, "Here's the PS1," and it's like a rhombus Xbox.
Yes.
I'm not so sure about the look of PS4.
It's fine.
Some people like it, but it's it's not ugly, but it's not.
I don't like it as much as the Xbox One
No,
exterior.
Definitely not.
Although it's a lot smaller. Interestingly, given it's the same, if not higher
it
spec.
seems thinner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird. The entire back of it is vents, pretty much.
Yeah.
Vents and ports. But,
I worry a little bit about the that weird that's I suppose gash almost
Right,
in the
central
front
slot.
has USB ports in it,
Right.
so it's if you ever want to plug in a memory stick that happens to be somewhat fat, you're gonna have to find another port.
Right, then you're in trouble. That's
Yeah.
annoying on
So
laptops
actually
and
it can
things.
only fit the thinnest of the thin ports,
Right.
the connectors even.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just ultimately they're just boxes you stick under your
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think either of them are as
Either of them are
cool
gonna-
looking as the 360 had a nice that sort of
The
intake of
inhale.
breath thing. Yeah, it was kind of cool. But at the end of the day, these look like home theatre PCs. Because
Yeah,
that's what they are.
They look more regular, I suppose. They're probably more acceptable.
The fact that the Xbox is bigger and has this massive fan might make it quieter, which would be annoying if the PS4 was not quiet.
To be honest, I've been living in semi-near first-gen tech land for the last 7 years with the two consoles, so my Xbox and my PS3 are pretty noisy.
They are freaking noisy.
So as long as they're quieter than those,
I'm sure they will be.
don't care.
You don't worry. Okay, it's the sort of thing I worry about. Well, I spend more money on my PC components to make them quieter and stuff because I have that on all the goddamn time. So it's literally a background noise for my entire home life. Yeah. So I basically have it silent pretty much. Well, I do quite well with the crazy ass. So that does matter to me. You can certainly tell when you turn on my Xbox compared to my PC. It's freaking a million times louder because I have an ancient one like yours.
Yeah. For the first gen.
Pre-HDMI. Yeah. Anyway.
I kind of wish I had HDMI.
But yeah, hardware-wise, the controller matters more, and so that's what we already had seen. So.
Yeah. And then they continue talking for some more time about entertainment tailored for gamers.
Whatever. You can watch Netflix without a PlayStation Plus subscription.
I gotta admit, I did find that somewhat weird. Yeah, like tailored for gamers? What does that mean? It's like
it doesn't mean anything.
They only said that because they were going overboard the other way compared to Microsoft. They were trying to say we're for gamers, not for people who like TV. But we want to show you TV stuff because we know you like that. But we're going to say it's gamer flavored TV, which is
like none of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What would gamer flavor be?
Hello, lots of reruns of Games Master. We have the entire library of Games Master available to stream.
The oiliest cheese.
Yep.
I mean actual gamer flavour, not like gamer flavour TV.
Oh, it'll just be Mountain Dew over everything.
Cheese.
So it's not. The Mountain Dew thing is probably put on by marketing, isn't it? That perhaps they wanted to get that demographic. It's probably not that it's drunk by, or maybe it's sponsored by some league or something. Like, I don't think Mountain Dew was probably. They've put themselves
just
in that.
Drinks in general.
I guess. But you know what I mean, though? I think
Mountain Dew is technically an energy drink as much as some of the other ones.
They're
like
probably
Monster or whatever.
They're trying to position themselves in that role rather than them just having it. Because that's what gamers drink.
Everyone knows that what gamers actually drink is cherry coke.
Which is friggin' lovely.
It's been proven from our long periods in a land centre where the only thing anyone ever bought was cherry coke.
Yeah.
Right. That's the drink of choice.
That did happen. Confirmed.
Yep. We're drinking it right now.
I don't even like cherry coke that
much. So you had a whole pint of it.
Yeah. I needed liquid. There wasn't water.
Logic.
I needed flavour.
What's so funny about that?
I had a mouthful of coke there. It was just like, what?
Okay, so after all the talking, so much talking,
my nostrils.
They started going on about actual games with The Order.
Oh yeah,
which I guess is
that
actual steampunk. I guess sort of.
Okay.
I guess that with like 1800s policemen, but with machine guns
and a lightning gun.
We're keeping a tally again of what's exclusive. Is that shit
exclusive?
Probably.
Yes, that is exclusive.
And then they did a very brief roundup of all the stuff that they already announced, like Killzone, Drive Club, Infamous, Knack. So you don't need to say anything else about them.
Infamous and what?
Knack.
What's Knack?
Knack is the
collection of items that form a dude.
Yeah, Knack is Sony's game that they were using as like possible. There was a
physics tech demo.
I think it was the first actual game we saw on PS4.
Yeah, it was.
Aren't they putting Planet Side 2 onto PS4? That's a Sony game.
Oh, that wasn't in the conference.
No.
But yes, they are.
Then there was.
That probably looks pretty nice.
Nice.
Then there was the thing that was technically called the Dark Sorcerer that isn't actually a game. It's just another tech demo.
Although I kind of like the idea of Quantic Dream actually doing a game based on making a game like that. I kind of
think that might be a bit extremely meta.
I know, but I don't know. I just think it could be quite cool. But yeah, that tech demo is brilliant. But there's a 12-minute extended version as well that goes much further than what they show there, and it's all great. I still think their Quantic Dream's engine, or the way they do capture, still has a slight disconnect between mouth and head. I don't know though. It's very rare, but there's an odd moment, especially when the mouth is quite open, where it doesn't look quite right.
Oh, that was the thing that was. I think I can't remember what the other thing that someone was showing where that turned up. It was just like, it was the
was it Beyond you're thinking of?
No, it was
Quantic Dream showed that as well.
It was the basketball dude in. It must have been EA when they were like, here's a real basketball guy talking to himself in the computer phone.
Oh, that was later on in this conference.
Was it? Oh. I didn't. My note for that bit just says NBA 14. Yep, sports. So I guess that might have happened then.
Well, that was 2K's.
Of
game.
course.
It's not NBA.
But yeah, when they had the computer model of that basketball player, it's the same thing. It's like when they open their mouth to a certain point, it's like, wait, hang on, now it looks wrong.
Yeah. Well, that demo wasn't very good anyway.
Well, no, obviously not comparable to it.
No. It's like it wasn't... His face didn't even look that great.
No, it's like it didn't really look like him at all.
No.
And they put them side by side, which was a bad move.
Yep.
But yeah, they've had that. They had that problem in Heavy Rain. Like wide mouths looked kind of weird, and they seem to still have that problem in Beyond, and they seem to still have that problem, but much less noticeably in the Dark Sorcerer demo. But holy cow, that thing looks amazing. That it's not a game, but that may be the most impressive graphic demo of the lot.
Right.
I think. Don't you agree?
Not really.
Really?
I don't really care about that. Like, it was just it might as well just be. It's just like a big pile of pre-rendered stuff. I mean, even if they say it's running in real time, I don't really register that as being a thing that runs in real time. It's just still a video, like all of these things, where they're not showing gameplay.
Come on, but I still mean as a graphic demo. If it is running on the hardware and games end up looking like that. I mean, I was always impressed with their Kara demo, if for graphic and animation fidelity. Back at GDC last year. Or was it the year before? Something like that. It's a while back now. That always looked really good, and that's running on PS3 tech, so they are masters.
Clearly. And then there was like a big pile of indie shit. Or not shit.
Didn't they put everything, or them all on stage playing their own game at once?
Well, they did Transistor by itself first.
Right.
Which was just the video of it that they've already shown.
Again, no exclusivity ties on that.
No.
On any of the indie shit, I imagine.
Yeah, all the rest of the indie shit. Don't Starve, Mercenary Kings, Octodad, Secret Punches, Raise Quest, Outlast, Oddworld, Galaxy.
You don't really want exclusivity on indie stuff. They should be able to make money wherever they can, though, really.
Yeah, exactly.
But now they can on PS4.
Yeah, hooray.
I guess.
Yeah, they're just helping them.
You can, self-publish almost.
Almost. It's a bit of a...
Certainly a lot easier than the freaking Xbox system.
Not denying that, but to say it's completely self-publishing is a bit of a misnomer. Yeah. It's like Sony are publishing.
You want it to be fairly curated. I don't want to see some of the... Can you imagine? I mean, there's already crap on the Xbox. Yeah. The hilarious shit that you can...
Math Sniper!
Math Sniper, that was amazing.
I don't know, I'm not saying it never will be, but it's, I suppose that's the same with pretty much anything that ends up on the service. In the main stores, there's going to be someone looking at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that must happen on Steam, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it certainly does. You need a whole community process, and even before
not even Greenlight. If, say, you had a publisher and they wanted to put it on Steam, Steam could still turn around and say no.
Yeah, that's true.
And it has happened in the past, I think.
It has, yeah.
With certain dubious... Yeah, games of dubious intent.
Of course, I did say Galaxy, but of course it's actually Galaxy. Fuck them. Screw you Americans. We're going to deliberately mispronounce your game because you've made a comedy pronunciation based on your stupid American way of pronouncing the letter
Z. DayZ.
Yep.
World War Z.
World War Z.
And then there was, don't forget about Diablo 3, because it's still coming.
Hooray.
Yeah, no one cares.
Exclusive items.
No one cares.
Yep.
I can't believe they went to the effort of saying all of that. And, having them at the reveal was enough.
Yeah.
For them to come back and still not have anything to show and just say, hey, you're going to get items. So much no. I mean, yeah, okay, kind of getting Blizzard on board with your console, possibly a big deal, but
not for
twice with no information both times, really? That's just... Not the best orchestrated use of your press time.
And then there was the craziness that is Final Fantasy versus 13 is now 15 because I don't know, fuck 13.
What the hell was versus 13 ever about anyway? How does that fit into 13?
They were just making shit up.
It definitely doesn't anymore.
No.
Cool though.
Well, that just looks crazy, insane.
I really want. They didn't.
Looks like Bayonetta for Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah, they didn't really show enough exactly about
how you play it.
How that gameplay works, but it looked insanely slick. Like the bits where they cut the gameplay, ish looking things looked really. They were probably the transitions between gameplay elements.
Yeah, probably.
I think we're due for a decent Final Fantasy. Not the 13 was too bad,
but it looked really good.
And that's the standards that RPGs.
True,
but you have to hold your attention for 40 hours.
The story seems genuinely an interesting direction for the series because everything they showed was mostly kind of set in a sort of modern age. You know what I mean? Not too sci-fi or not too fantastical. It's kind of a bit of realism floating into Final Fantasy.
It's like in that whole crazy video that they showed at the press conference, I didn't really pick up on that at all. And the only thing that I noticed it in was like later when there was a screenshot. It's like it's just that the dude is standing next to a thing that looks suspiciously like a regular ass cop car, and I'm like, oh, hang on.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't really notice that while you were crazily flying around between floating bits of building or whatever the shit.
Yeah, there seems to be some interesting sort of like blink mechanics, or like it teleport to some dude.
Yeah.
Type things, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how that goes. Although I wasn't, but the guy introducing that, I can never remember his name.
Yeah,
the square guy.
Yeah,
seemed the least interested person in what was going on. And this was videoed. He was videoed as, "Hey, look at our sweet game," and he's like, "Hey, look at this game."
Oh, no, that's
welcome to
hey, look at this.
Welcome to E3. Hope you have a great time. Thank you for watching my video.
Yep.
Show some enthusiasm for your product. Just a little.
And then there was the thing that everyone apparently wants to show enthusiasm about, Kingdom Hearts 3, because we don't care about that either, but apparently lots of people do.
Everyone there was like, woo! There's yeah.
Apparently it's one of those things that a lot of people...
It's probably...
There's a nostalgia problem, I think, with Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people... having not played the games, I can't make a judgment, but the feeling I get from... I don't know, writers and bloggers, is that Kingdom Hearts doesn't actually hold up very well.
I tried playing the demo of the one on the 3DS, which is admittedly is not at all like the main Kingdom Hearts games as far as I can tell, and I couldn't work out what the fuck was even going on at all in that. It was like, these mechanics are weird, which is apparently one of the problems with it, but the mechanics were like, it was sort of not really a rhythm game, but you had to fling yourself rhythmically between poles or something. I have no idea what that game was even about. And then it didn't even seem to have any Disney trappings at the same time. It was just like, here's a generic back alley that you're fighting against some monsters. So yeah, we have no attachment for Kingdom Hearts.
It might be good. Who knows?
Yeah, people seem to, as I say, it's very popular.
These Square games are both multi-platform, aren't they, right? And possibly PC even.
Yeah, it's... exclusivity unannounced, so they haven't really explicitly said what platforms it would be available for, except we kind of know it's going to be on PS4.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be on PS4. Almost
but
they
haven't explicitly said really that about anything else. There's a good chance it might turn up on Microsoft.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
And then next up, there was the hilariously laggy AC3 demo.
Yeah, they had a bit of a problem. Live build, I guess, and all that. At least it is actually running, I suppose, if it's starting to...
Well, I don't know. It could technically have been a video that was lagging.
Maybe.
What was this? Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. Assassin's Creed 4.
4 Black
Flag.
Black Flag. Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of... They didn't get to complete it as well. They didn't get to complete the demo, unfortunately.
No, that was really funny, right? He's just like, I'm leaving now. Smile and nod, then walk off stage.
He sort of hung his head a little bit towards the end. I felt sorry for that guy. He sort of was just like, ah.
And that's why it has this all new thing where you can sit on a bench or wait.
Yep.
Talk to, but at least, but the new thing is when you sit on a bench, you're talking to the person next to you,
and then you get a drink, and then you leave.
Yeah,
of course.
And the woman was still that didn't work quite so well because the lady was still leaning in as if he was still there.
And then there was that demo of Watch Dogs, which we may have mentioned earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Although I also noted here, and here comes the shitty mobile integration, because why not have more goddamn smart glass type shit, even in Sony's press conference?
Oh, yeah, but that was again another one where it's not really smart glass.
No,
it's
obviously, it's the Sony one.
Yeah, multiplayer from
that would just be
some other source.
Yeah.
So someone using a phone. That one I'm less sure people will do. The Battlefield Commander mode, yeah, maybe I can see you making a compelling reason to do that. That, not so sure.
Yeah. Then there was the NBA 2K14, the dude who didn't look like his dude.
Oh, was that
LeBron.
the deep ball handling thing? I can't remember if it was EA.
No, I get the feeling it was probably the other one.
All right, okay.
Deep ball. Yeah, because that one was more about, let's just...
Yeah.
How good does my face look? Not.
No. Elder Scrolls Online, exclusive beta for PS4.
That game looks skank.
To make sure that it actually works on their hardware this time.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure. I think that will probably be a big failure.
Yeah, I think everyone thought that, regardless of what platform it was meant to be going out on.
It doesn't look good.
It certainly looks nothing like Skyrim.
Even all the MMO trappings that it has, all the actions, all the effects that were going on, they look decidedly old hat.
It's been in development for a long time.
And then, suddenly Mad Max turns up for, some reason. It's a weird property to break out at this point.
I forget who's developing that. I can't
remember.
remember that, but it's a studio that's been around for a while.
Yeah. But that's a weird, random property to just throw in there, I think.
Again, they didn't really say whether it was an exclusive or not, I don't think.
They didn't really say anything about it, even what kind of game it was.
Like,
presumably it will be some kind of driving game.
Is this kind of a thing where they announce something and I suppose it's always been at E3. They announce something and they give you a little pre-rendered trailer that tells you nothing, and then that's it.
It's like, it's coming.
Oh, okay.
It's just a flag
well,
up
actually,
the radar,
so
when something does come out, you've got it's like, oh right, okay, that cool, yeah, I'm interested.
I think the more modern age, it's become they used to have those trailers, and then at the end there'd be at least some information, here's the name, here's a projected release date, but now they don't even bother.
No,
it's just
that's wise, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess. So then we came to the announcement section. Or the first of the announcements section, when they were talking about games, where they basically went, fuck you, everyone! Or Microsoft, at least.
Yeah, fuck you, Microsoft.
This was unbelievable. The level of... I know, but the way they delivered it, the sheer... The volume of the reaction...
That's the thing. They didn't have to do almost anything. It was a completely open goal. They just kick it vaguely in the general
They just
direction.
probably added that slide to the presentation at the last minute, going, "Oh, hey, you know what? We can do this." Although suddenly this has become an issue. Let's add this in.
Yeah, they didn't have to.
Although after announcing use games and no online check and your PS Plus carries over, and then they were quickly slip in there. Now you have to have PS Plus to do multiplayer. Yoink!
Yeah.
I think that's good.
That in.
I think they're basically following the 360 model of gold.
Is it good? It's a step back, though.
Well, this is the thing.
And we were all hoping that Microsoft would be the one to yield somewhat and take a step back, perhaps either on online multiplayer or on offering PS Plus style
stuff.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I was going to sort of say earlier when we were talking about Microsoft's version of this, was they've now become equal on the paying for multiplayer aspect.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft were free games. But Microsoft were free 360 games because this hasn't transferred onto the one yet.
Which is a temporary offer as well.
Yeah, which is a temporary offer as well. But then actually in the PS4 one, they sort of said it as well. They just said they were going to give away free games, but it was going to be some of the indie games.
Yeah.
So we're not even talking free AAA.
Well, no, that's not going to happen on launch, is it?
Well, no, I guess they don't have any games to give away.
No, instant game collection is kind of a tricky thing to maintain this when your console first starts. And I think people are willing to the fact that they're offering brand new indie games on the platform is that's pretty respectable as well.
Well, not for the indie developers. I
guess Sony will have paid them quite a bit to do that, I'm sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too... Other than the fact that you'll have to pay for both if you've got both consoles.
That's the bit I'm a little bit...
But I mean, you've had to pay for gold, but that service is undeniably a lot better than the PSN service. It used to be, anyway.
Up until Instant Game Collection, I would wager that was true, but Sony has definitely...
But you have to pay for that, don't you?
You have to pay for PS Plus, but you get so much more value for it.
Yeah. But now,
so much more value.
But now you continue to pay for it,
and
but
the
you
Xbox,
just have to pay for
it.
it.
And don't forget, some of the Xbox video services that they seem so happy about touting are still behind the gold paywall.
And they're not on
That's actually a bit
PS4.
of corrections, Colin, because I think I said a few weeks back that they're no longer behind the paywall.
They are.
They're still behind the paywall.
On PS4, though, they're not. I found that got tweeted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I don't mind paying for their gold equivalent service where you can play online against people, whatever, as long as it's a good service.
Yeah, well, this is the thing we don't really know because we haven't seen any of their service yet. We haven't seen any of what the new PS4's. What's the friend system like? What's the communication system like? Has the invites work? Do they have beacons?
Yeah.
How does all that tie together?
Yeah.
Apparently, achievements or trophies are going to get us a revamp of some kind, but they haven't told us how.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the
Microsoft's achievements, like rolling achievements or whatever.
What's the thing they've
challenges,
got? Challenges,
they call them. There's achievements which are basically staying the same, which are the fixed goals, I suppose, give you gamer score, blah, 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 blah. But there's also rolling challenges, which may give you, like, bonus items, I suppose. Probably avatar crap.
Probably.
So
yeah. Then they had a momentary break from their announcement section to actually have Destiny.
Which looks pretty good.
There was a little bit of lag at the start of it again.
Yeah, it seemed
in a similar way to the Assassin's Creed one, so it must be the same whatever issue that was.
Maybe it was the same box. Maybe they got a faulty box back there.
I like the look of the world so far and the aesthetic. I thought the graphics looked good. And then when they went into the wall and started fighting bugs or whatever, I thought, oh, this looks really boring. But then when they came back out and started the big fight, then I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So I was a bit worried.
I don't think it looked boring. I think it looked very Halo.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of, Guilty Spark was pretty much in it. And where he whips out his ghost and it goes flying around.
Wheatley as well. With the light and the dark.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
And the talking and making jokes and shit. Wasn't it?
Guilty Spark was there first.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Wheatley was just a Stephen March into Guilty Spark.
That's a bit... I don't know about that. Yeah.
Someone floating orb thing that cracks occasional jokes and snarky remarks.
Floating orbs. Sorry?
He didn't even float.
No, Wheatley didn't.
He was on a rail and then you were carrying him around.
Yeah, it's true.
He did technically float when you were carrying him around because, you
pick him up with the gravity gun.
Yeah, whatever the gravity gun attachment is for the portal gun. They never really explained that, do they?
That was just
So yeah. And then they went back to announcements where they announced that Gaikai is coming in 2014 in the US. So we don't have to care about that, and it's more than a year away even for them.
You know what? For starters,
a year away.
Not sure I really cared.
No.
And secondly, that must be an incredibly difficult thing to coordinate.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's cool.
Getting the cloud service in a state where it is usable enough, it's going to be entirely location dependent.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then right at the last moment, they went back to saying fuck you again and announced the price.
Woo! This is crazy dramatic.
And then drop the mic.
Yeah, as everyone keeps saying.
So yeah. Europe still gets boned though.
Yeah.
The conversion's not great. It's never great.
It's $3.99, €3.99, £3.49.
$3.50
Which is actually a shitter ratio than the Xbox one, slightly.
Just a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah, very slightly.
$3.50 still seems much more affordable than
$4.30. Well, that's the price that the Xbox launched at, ish.
Last time.
When 360 came out.
Right. It seems reasonable.
It's deliberate.
$4.30 just seems...
But to note, that does not come with PlayStation Eye or
I know
any of their equivalent stuff.
I'll get one when I want one.
You need Eye if you want to do any of the light bar stuff on the controller.
Yeah.
So without it, you're limiting most of the design of the controller. One of the bigger innovations of the controller.
Yeah, but how many games are going to use that? I don't know. Maybe if they
do,
we
don't know, but
yeah,
I'd imagine not many. But there will be the odd Sony first-party thing that will make use of the gimmicks.
Yeah,
like Killzone did when they were using 6-axis.
So everyone's still been speculating that they're probably going to come up with some other prices,
some bundles
at some point, bundles or subscription models.
Yeah, there's been nothing mentioned about the highly rumored subsidied model.
Yeah,
where it's you can get your console for £200, but you'll be locked into live for some time.
Didn't Microsoft already do that with the 360?
Yeah, they did.
They trialled it.
Right, it didn't really work. Okay.
Well, it was very limited. It was like only in one area of the US or something where they trialed this.
Okay,
it was a very limited experiment.
Interesting.
That was Sony.
That was Sony. Bloody hell. So what are their exclusives? That have they got a killer app that other than Titanfall is for Xbox?
Killzone looks pretty sweet. I mean, I've not been a massive Killzone fan. I thought Killzone 2 was pretty good, but it has some, I don't know. It never felt quite on par gameplay-wise with Halo or Call of Duty or...
obviously, yeah.
Generic sci-fi shooter here.
Or Gears.
No, well, yeah, third person, but, you know. Right. It never felt quite as solid, and I don't really know why, because they are beautiful games. They're mechanically pretty great. Well, Killzone 2 actually had that heaviness issue.
Yeah, but they got fixed that in 3, didn't they?
Yeah, and they sort of patched it into 2.
That's true.
But it was never quite right in 2, even after patch. But
and the world doesn't matter as much as a Halo world, somehow.
No, there's something... The story seems harder to get behind. I don't know why.
British space Nazis.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Don't know. I'm not sure about their story in the setting, but gameplay's fine. And and to be honest, I've always felt that the Killzone 2 multiplayer was pretty innovative. Like rolling goals on the same map. So it's like the round doesn't end, but suddenly you've changed from deathmatch to a capture the flag game. Or a capture point game. And it's like all in the same match. And it's like, I thought that worked really well and was really interesting.
But yeah, what else? Because that is the key question. I mean, if you're going to buy the console on launch, which one do you get? It's based on, I think, unless you're really against the Xbox for all the weird privacy shit and DRM crap and everything, then it's down to the games and it's about the launch lineup.
What are the PS4 launch games?
Yeah.
I really like to say.
Infamous is the launch game.
Is it not?
Infamous is next year sometime.
Oh, that's interesting.
Killzone is
that's a launch game.
Probably a launch game.
Yeah, that's got to be a launch game.
Drive Club, I think, is the other launch game.
Right, yeah.
Which is also one of the games you'll get on PS Plus immediately. There's like a special edition of it which is being released. Like Drive Club PS Plus edition. They're literally calling it that.
Right. But
probably means it's a cut down version.
Oh, I see.
To make you buy it a bit later, I guess, if you get into it.
But Drive Club versus Forza 5 is an obvious choice, isn't it? Forza 5 all the way.
Well, we don't know enough about Drive Club to make that call. I don't know. Drive Club could be good. It could be really good.
I didn't note it anywhere in this whole thing, but they did show GTR 6. Not GTR.
That's for PS3.
They did, yeah.
That's for PS3, right?
Yeah.
That would be cool, though.
Well, we missed Beyond as well, which was right at the start of the show.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which was
these are bad notes, apparently.
Yeah. Which
I guess that Beyond trailer slipped me by because it was like, what the fuck is this even? And then it was like, oh, hang on, it's that game somehow.
Yeah, this has put a slight spanner in, I think, what everyone thought about the game, and that wait, so Ellen Page's character is a
military specialist.
Yeah, child soldier. In a way,
it's like Dark Angel.
Yeah, there's still ghosts in it, right? Because that trailer showed none of that.
No.
I'm still really up for that game. I like Quantic Dream's previous work, Heavy Rain, so excited for that. Apparently it still plays like that, even if it does kind of present itself at times with some, I don't know, shooter-esque trappings. Apparently it doesn't play like a shooter, it's still got that sort of quick time event. Or, button press here to do this type actions. It's not full control.
Right.
So still a Quantic Dream game.
I guess. And then there's just Nintendo to go.
Hooray!
And some other random crap.
Yeah.
So Nintendo didn't have their press conference, they just did a Nintendo Direct. Which I guess, there's been plenty of those that I haven't paid attention to.
Yeah, there've been a few recently. They're quite in depth, those.
Yeah.
I like the interview with the. I saw an interview with the Smash Brothers guy, and that went into.
Yeah, I think I watched that one.
That guy was cool, obviously.
So they started off with Pokemon X and Y, which is just like, as I said in my previous comments about Mystery Dungeon, it's like, I don't care about them any longer. And
freaking 3D.
Like, face rubbing technology isn't going to pull me back.
It's got 3D Pokemon though.
Yeah, but so does Mystery Dungeon.
I know, but this is a real Pokemon game.
Yeah,
You're going to have to explain face rubbing.
you can interact with your Pokemon by poking them in the goddamn
it's the
face.
same as Black and White, where you could slap the guy's face or rub it or whatever. Do you remember Black and White?
No.
And they hilariously showed
When did I play Pokemon?
No, I mean Black and White, the
Black and
game. Yeah, it's like it's a petting thing for your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, right. Okay.
Pat them Pokemon. And they hilariously showed it with a fucking Snorlax.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what you want to pat. Brat.
There's a lot to pat.
Yeah,
It'd be
exactly.
awesome if you could slap it like in Black and White.
Yeah, I guess. But that's not going to happen.
You could be really evil, couldn't you, Black and White?
That was so... It shouldn't have been, but that was so satisfying.
Or the
So, like, it was better doing the light ones because it had like slap power, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it was really funny just to go.
So yeah, there's that. Still
that
don't
game was not a game, but it was freaking
It was
awesome.
funny in too many weird ways.
Yeah.
Still don't care about those. They still haven't shown any new. Well, apart from fairy type, add another goddamn type into that giant pile of types that they already have.
Oh yeah,
They're
new
trying,
type.
they're trying to explain Clefairy a little.
Well, yeah, it was like they were already basically when they showed like here's a selection of the Pokemon that are fairy type. It's like, well, obviously it's like Jigglypuff, Clefairy,
Pink balls.
yeah, all these ones which didn't actually were normal type before.
Now they're super effective
fairy.
against dragons. Or
Yeah,
some
because
shit.
dragons were unbalanced apparently.
Right.
So we better fix that by introducing even more rock paper scissors combos.
Rather than just changing.
Do you think they have a computer that works out all the combinations and you just leave it running overnight and they're like, yeah, that's balanced.
I doubt it. So yeah,
I think they looked cool.
what
The new visual style and
what,
the
actual
new,
3D?
3D
Yeah.
Pokemon.
they should have done that a long time ago,
Oh yes,
But now they have.
and it looks better
it's
for
not
it.
good enough though. Not sufficient.
What do you want?
I want mechanics. I want something new mechanically.
They're not going to do that because it's for kids.
No, I know, which is why I don't need to care about it any longer.
You've grown up. You're now 28. You've grown up from Pokemon. Sorry, 27.
Played a sufficient number of them. And then,
I suppose Nino Cooney's like.
That's another PS3 game exclusive
Yeah.
that's freaking awesome.
are you going to get to that?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
I need to buy a PS3 or some shit. Because
Wait until the price goes down.
well, yeah, then I can
Probably
play
as
the-
low as it's going to get
then I-
before PS4, and even then it'll probably still stay at this price.
Then I can play The Last of Us and Nino Kuni, and I can play.
But the
Uncharted
Pokemon
3.
elements in that they satisfy your Pokemon needs.
Not mine. I'm not going to get a console at this point.
Are you going to get one of the new ones? I doubt it.
No, probably
No.
not. Unless there's some kind of awesome game that I can't resist, but I doubt it even then.
I
'cause
can't
it's
believe that
way
didn't
too
happen
expensive.
this entire generation. Did it not? Was
No.
there not a single console game where you're like, I must
You
play
played
that
more
shit?
Well,
Wii
I,
stuff.
I had quite a lot of time when I was just stealing all Rob's shit.
That
Right, yeah.
did happen, yeah. You played more Wii stuff, I think, than perhaps the other two.
Yeah, maybe.
That's because you care more about Nintendo shit then. But you kind of have a Wii, kind of.
Kind of.
So that's okay.
And then there was Mario Kart 8,
Where you
because more fucking Mario Kart.
anti-gravity wipeout shit.
Yeah.
Visually, it's the best Mario Kart's ever looked, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
And also, maybe coins are back. I saw coins.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't know whether they're going to have the same sort of speed boosting effect they did from the Game Boy Advance games or whatever.
Oh, no, wait, no, I remember, yes. Yeah, I remember seeing it.
It's like coins.
Yeah. What does that mean?
It's probably not very much.
The best comment I think I saw about Mario Kart after everything had gone down was that for once Mario Kart looks current, which is ironic given that current is about to change.
Right. Yeah. And then there was Super Mario 3D World, because, I don't know,
On a console now.
yeah, kind of.
But people say that
Is it?
Super Mario 3D
Is that on
Land...
Wii U?
Yeah, Super Mario...
Oh, I thought that was DS.
No, Super Mario 3D World is Wii U.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Super Mario 3D Land was the DS.
Well, that makes
3DS
sense
one.
because Land is the Game Boy games and
Yeah.
World is the SNES game.
Yes,
right? So
they're
that does
following
make
that
sense.
convention again.
And then it has, like,
Catsuit.
catsuit. It has, like, wow.
Hearing Mario say meow was kind of funny.
You can have Peach, because they got rid of that stupid yellow
Oh, yeah.
toad. Fuck Yellow Toad. Get out.
Yeah.
We're keeping Blue Toad.
That seems more sensible. But then again, I suppose you're trying to save Peach normally.
Yeah.
That means you're doing something else.
Yeah, I guess.
Are we saving Daisy? She can stay.
Save Yellow Toad.
Yeah. They could stay.
Oh, and speaking of the ridiculousness of New Super Luigi,
Yeah.
not that we were speaking of that, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. I saw the intro sequence to that. I guess that was technically after. Was that a video in this? It might have been. But they showed part of the intro sequence, because you remember, I don't know if you even saw the one for New Super Mario Brothers, but they're in the castle and they're sitting at a dinner table and Peach is there, and then Bowser's fucking airship flies over as it always does.
Yep.
And it
Don't they have surface-to-air missiles around the castle yet?
Yeah, exactly. And then it extends a giant arm and it picks them up and it chucks them and then it steals Peach and all that shit. Well, in the new Super Luigi one, it's the same fucking sequence. Except there's an empty seat where Mario should be and it's just his hat sitting on the table. It's like, what?
This game is this? This is all going to be like if Luigi dreams of this.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's how I want it.
It's like Mario doesn't exist in this world.
It's like I'm the fucking hero, yo.
So yeah, that was weird.
It is a bit. It feels super cheap, that game.
Yeah.
As much as we can say that new Super Mario Bros. Hasn't felt cheap for a while. Yeah. But that's saying that it does look pretty nice in HD.
Yeah, I guess.
But, did they really need to crap that one out so soon after the last one?
At least they're making 3D World, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because that's slightly different.
And what else is happening in the year of Luigi, anyway?
Yeah, not anything else in this whole Nintendo Direct.
So wait, a year of Luigi means there are 2 games?
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
Maybe they'll sneak a third one in at some point. And then there was time for no one to care about Art Academy, because what the fuck are you using your Wii U to draw stuff for? I don't know.
That seems to be a weird sales pitch for a lot of things. There's that Windows 8 advert on telly with that kid using a giant touchscreen Windows PC to draw stuff to send her a dad.
Apparently
which is kind of cool in principle, but who does that?
Well, apparently the Surface Pro is really... I mean, Gabe's using it to draw comics, apparently.
Oh, yeah, I read that post.
I mean, it's supposed to have really good tracking and shit. So that's cool.
But no one cares about Art Academy on the Wii U.
No.
And then there was a casual third-party montage and an eShop montage.
Anything interesting in there?
Well, considering the fact that I wrote third-party montage and eShop montage, I'm going to say no.
Alrighty.
Then there was the all-important announcement of the Wii U Wind Waker, yeah. Because you can push A to do a faster sail! Speed sail!
Oh, really?
Yeah!
They've
turbo sail!
Changed things, have they? Okay.
And they've also changed the Tingle Tuner because it used to be the GBA attachment. Now you just fire messages onto the Wii U message boards or whatever the fuck those things are called, I forget.
The Miiverse?
Miiverse, yeah. You put a message in a bottle and throw it into the water, and then it sends it out to the cloud, and then you get random... Out to the cloud. I said it. Then
you said it.
Then you get random messages from other people, so you can totally be unhelpful to everyone by just sending random crap that has nothing to do with anything.
Like a weird Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Wait, what was this thing then? How did that
work? Well, it used to be the Tingle Tuner, where you'd get... It was just like a sub-screen, because it was the GBA attachment, like how it did in Final Fantasy, basically.
So it was massively optional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they just... Because obviously they can't do that. But they can do that. I know the thing I don't understand. They got rid of the Tingle Tuner and replaced it with this message thing. But you have a fucking second screen now!
That's dumb.
So if they're doing messaging...
Maybe you have it all the time anyway.
Well, maybe.
But what did it even do? Sorry, I don't get what the point of it was being on the GBA.
It's for finding secrets and shit.
Yeah, it was like hidden information that you wouldn't normally get, or, you could... I don't know. I never did it, so I don't exactly know. But
oh, wait. Well, they could have made the second screen stuff wouldn't work if they wanted Wind Waker to be playable on the Wii U pad.
No, that's true. But then it was because it was an optional thing anyway. They could have just had it so when you play it on the pad, you turn that bit off.
Maybe, yeah.
It just seems weird that once they had a second screen built into the system, they were like, no, forget that.
Yeah, weird. Maybe they didn't like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think people probably didn't like it.
Well, I suppose most people would never have seen it.
No, exactly. Because that GBA attachment was a big fat pain in the ass.
I wonder how it represents itself then, like, as in... Would that show be like an extended map almost, for the area you're currently in, just with little hints on it?
Yeah, I think that was how it showed up originally.
So if you're getting these crappy message bottles...
Those aren't going to be like that. It's not a replacement, it's a totally different thing.
Right.
It's just...
Okay, that's where I was getting confused. Yeah, it's like, how does that help?
It doesn't... Probably, like, you're just going... Really, all it is just a way of putting the Miiverse message boards into the game. Like... It will still be those same little, like, post boxes that the Miiverse has on the Wii U, only now you'll be reading them out of a bowl.
It's interesting, but I don't get the point.
No, I don't think there is a point. Unless it does some kind of, like...
Maybe it's a new hidden quest or something.
Well, unless they... I suppose you could theoretically argue that it will be for, like, community hints or, like if it detects where you are in the game... when you send the message, and then when someone else gets to that point in the game, it pulls the right messages from the right part of the game. So, like,
are you supposed to be posting... Well, are you supposed to be sending helpful messages, then, that people at that point in the game receive?
Maybe you're supposed to, but who knows what people will actually use it for. But, I mean, if it did something like that, that would maybe make some kind of sense.
Interesting. Yes, controlling the timing of those messages would be interesting.
Well, it wouldn't theoretically be that difficult to just detect your progress.
Well, no, but then when you sent a message, how would it know what you were talking about? Like,
by what your point of the game is, it would just have to assume you were talking about where you were in the game.
Well, presumably it would have to assume you're talking about the last thing you did, so then it would deliver that to players that are about to do that.
Yeah, and presumably, like, maybe it could be attached to what island you were standing on as well, so if you've just done
but maybe it wouldn't be 100% clear as to, like, how much of the last thing you did might be seeable. Like, what if there were 2 points in the progress where you could send a message back, but you, like... So you've done these 2 separate things, but, you know, to you, maybe they might have been one active task, I guess.
Right.
So then you get to the end of that, and you send the message back, and it's like, oh, the person was, you're like talking about the second thing, but maybe like where that person is, or maybe they wouldn't receive it about that second thing because they're before the first thing, and then they go through that process of these 2 things.
I think as long as they receive it at some point.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Just kind of...
But who knows how it actually works?
Yeah, it seems weird.
It's going to be entirely pointless. The only thing that matters is speed sale.
Clearly.
Pretty much.
And the fact that make things much quicker.
And the sharpening up of everything looks pretty damn sweet.
Yeah.
I thought it looked fine already. But it's nice to have it in HD.
Yeah. Looks even sweeter.
And then
It's funny how the feeling on that game
has totally turned around. Yeah.
It's hilarious. It was always good. Yeah.
I did like the visual style.
Yeah.
Just the start of that game. Talked about this before, the start of Wind Waker.
Yeah, it's nice.
Don't like that first sequence.
And then they did a little tiny bit of Wonderful 101, which is like, I don't know.
That feels like one of those games I should really know more about, because it looks visually pretty cool.
I heard some people
I don't really know how it plays.
Well, I heard some people who played it were saying that like it's actually it's one of those things where it's difficult to pick out what the fuck's actually going on, because you're playing a swarm of tiny characters. But yeah, that's still continuing to be that. Maybe it will come out at some point.
Pikmin Battle Simulator.
Yeah, basically. And then there was Donkey Kong Country, so you can piss everyone off who thought they were going to not
Retro are going to be making something new.
Yeah, thought that Retro was going to be doing something good, but no, it's just... But Animal Crossing overrided my desire to get that on my 3DS game.
Yeah.
It's either that or Animal Crossing, but I heard Animal Crossing was good, and that's probably more like something that I'd want to play.
Yeah.
Because I don't just want to play a platformer.
I heard that port wasn't super great from Wii or whatever.
Yeah.
It was Wii.
What from
Wii to the 3DS.
3DS.
Yeah.
Well, Retro probably didn't make the port.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
And then
it looks quite janky, which is weird because it looked fine on Wii. Yeah.
Weird. And then they dramatically had a ridiculous video of Bayonetta 2, and then proceeded to say that's not coming out for a whole other year.
Right.
Really? Wow.
Pretty much.
Jeez, who's going to be buying a Wii U then?
Yeah, it's... That's risky.
Oh well.
So yeah.
I feel slightly worried for Platinum on that front. I mean, I know they're doing okay for themselves, but that sounds like it's not going to do well.
Yeah.
It doesn't look any less crazy, that's for sure.
It looks like Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of it.
Although she cut her hair, which doesn't make any sense.
No, her
then that's
hair
her
was her
clothes.
clothes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but they were separate.
Not really.
Not really.
But her hair coming off the back of her head never fed into the black lycra, did it? She wore her hair normally. Then there was her head. Then and then the neck, and then the suit.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
But now it makes it all. If that is the case, it just makes it like kind of even more gross than it already was. Because it's like it's not even just like her head hair is then going onto her body. It's just like mysterious body hair.
Well, yeah, there is that. The suit's probably just made of like.
Yeah, they probably got rid of that whole idea now or
cuts
something.
of the hair anyway. Yeah, I wonder how applicable that is to like the Wii U's market anyway.
But the whole idea of Bayonetta 2 being on the Wii U was pretty ridiculous in the first place.
True.
I have to give Ninty. Well, we have given Ninty props in the past for how that whole came about because, well, basically Platinum lost their publisher for Bayonetta 2,
Yeah.
and no one really wanted to pick it up. And Ninty sort of stepped in and said, "Yeah, we'll publish it, but it's got to be Wii U."
And then they snuck in a ridiculous trailer for some kind of open world Xenoblades type thing that just ended up being called X, or probably won't actually be called X. Which is just like giant robots shooting things.
All right.
One of those games that we know absolutely nothing about.
No, not crossed me.
And then the important announcement, of course, the one thing that we do care about.
Super Smash Brothers!
They didn't give it a subtitle though.
No.
Gasp.
Super Smash Brothers for Wii U.
Yeah,
That's how it was
apparently.
officially described.
And 3DS.
Yeah.
And then they like weirdly cel shaded it on the 3DS so you can distinguish the characters
So you can
better.
tell
Yeah,
what's going
apparently
on.
it's a bit too tricky to see unless they did that on a 3DS screen.
Fair enough.
And then they announced some characters.
So yeah, the roster's fairly measly to begin with. Out of the regulars.
Yeah. Which was...
Oh, really? Does it not have all those
Well, they're releasing it slowly.
Well, there's
so
been
it's-
rumours that they want to cut down the size of the roster, which is a bit. But they just
Oh,
can't.
that sucks. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
Just keep adding.
The big roster is great.
But yeah, so there's.
Well, they don't have to keep adding necessarily. They can mix it up.
Has it got Solid Snake?
Because some characters didn't work as well as others. Snake probably won't be in it this time, for instance.
Probably.
So Sonic seems more likely to be in it thanks to Sega's.
Well, I was kind of
And
thinking that
Nintendo's
like they could easily drop in some more of the Sega characters.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, maybe. Not that Sonic's universe is particularly filled with.
Well, you only
great
need like
characters.
3, really. It's like you just need Sonic. It's the classic.
Sonic, Tails, Knuckles.
Yeah, it's the classic combo.
The
It's like
Trinity.
the speed, the flying, the power.
The Trinity. Maybe Robotnik.
Yeah, maybe throw him in like a robot.
Bowser's
Thing.
time.
So it'd just be called Eggman.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to hear that announcer say that though.
Eggman.
That would be awesome.
Bowser, Eggman, Luigi.
So yeah, they announced ridiculous characters, which I've helpfully labelled as Dude from Animal Crossing. That's pretty much all it is.
Villager.
What
it's
Villager?
called.
Is that actually what he's just called?
Apparently.
Villager.
It's not a good name.
It's fine.
It sounds somewhat sinister.
Yeah, exactly. And he does
He
like
looks sinister,
yeah,
actually.
his generic like constant
Smile
smiling,
face.
wide-eyed face. Medial face.
The villager's coming for you.
He's gonna catch you with his net.
The villager's gonna come get you and take you to a rave.
Yeah, so
The
yeah.
moves look quite good for the.
A chip-tune rave.
I don't know about that tree cutting one. That looks a bit like
No.
huge.
Yeah.
Like a pretty giant tree.
But I like the way you could collect your shit.
Well, that's just like there's other characters that can do that.
Yeah.
Just not quite in such a casual way. Like you're like,
Although that was always kind of difficult to pull off, wasn't it? Like the Game & Watch collect.
you never thought about doing it most of the
No,
time.
true.
But it was that. I mean, relatively speaking, if you tried to do it with those characters, it was like with Lucas or Ness, where you just had a shield. But no one ever did that. You never thought to do that.
Yeah. And only worked against certain things, didn't
Yeah.
it? Lucas and
Energy
Ness.
attacks,
Yeah.
basically. So yeah. And then Mega Man, because fuck Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I guess.
Right, I'm so But now that Capcom's on board, this opens up a whole.
Does it?
Well, what else could be in there?
Well, that's what I was thinking about, because it's just like, what does Capcom even have that they... Because the whole thing was that people were bitching for ages about how, like,
why is
we want Mega Man in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. No, you get Shitty Zero instead.
Yep.
And now they're just like, Nintendo's like, can we have Mega Man? Yeah, okay then.
Zero he's a fine character. It's not as memorable.
He's just a generic Mega Man replacement who's not Mega Man.
But they've got Mega Man for Smash Bros. It looks cool.
Well, he looks... it's like it's a casual design of Mega Man, where it's just like literally based on the NES version of Mega Man.
Yeah.
So a little bit over... Well, it would have been weirder if they'd based it on the box art from the NES version. It's just some dude.
That's big in Tekken, though, isn't it? Or whichever fighting game that was. That was Tekken, wasn't it?
What? Why would Tekken be... Why would Capcom be related to Tekken?
What fight game was that then?
I don't know.
It was Fat Mega Man. They made him a character. I'm sure that was one of the Tekken ones.
Tekken is Namco.
I don't know.
Are you taking the mic?
But they made him. So yeah, they couldn't have him either because he's already taken. Old Fat Mega Man.
What if they put Scrooge McDuck?
I think that's probably not going to be a very easy deal to get in.
No, but Disney Smash Brothers.
That would be amazing. I'm going to totally beat up Pooh.
So who else were you thinking of that Mega Man opens the way for?
Well, any Capcom character.
Yeah, like who? I mean, I was thinking about like Marvel vs. Capcom if they're just going to jack all those characters.
Yeah.
There's not very many that fit. It's like Amaterasu, obviously.
That would work really well.
That's fine.
I guess.
And then that's basically it.
What about Ghosts and Goblins guy?
Yeah, I guess Arthur.
Yeah,
it's a bit obscure. It already pretty much was.
What about DMC Dante as opposed to old?
I don't think you can put them into Smash Bros. So easily. It was a bit of a stretch just to even do Snake.
Snake worked fine. Snake was pretty funny actually in Smash Bros. But
yeah,
if you could put anything into Smash Bros. That wasn't it.
Well, I mean,
you could put Ryu in there or Ken.
No, that's dumb.
They're too real fighting.
They're actual fighting game characters in this weird fighting game. That
should be fine.
But I think the Smash Bros. Guy in that other video sort of said that they almost don't want to do more than one character per company, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
So probably not any more Capcoms. But then I was thinking, like, what?
So does that mean we're still getting Sonic from Sega? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It's like, what other companies could they go for? I think they should totally put Bub and Bob in. Maybe as a dual character, like Ice Timers.
Or
that'd be awesome. Bub and Bob.
Bub and Bob would be pretty neat.
Incredible.
So that covers Taito, unless you want to get like Dig Dug guy in there.
What would you have from Namco?
Pac-Man, obviously.
Pac-Man.
Really?
It's the only option.
Well, Dig Dug is Namco.
Well, yeah, but he's not a good character, really.
He might be one of those assist trophies.
Well, yeah, so might a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, no, but Dig Dug could work pretty well, because he could just blow you up. It'd be really funny if he attaches you, you're like...
Yes, I guess so.
Jet Set Willy.
But yeah, that's pretty much like Pac-Man's the only option from Namco.
Well, I could have any fighting game. They have loads of fighting games.
That's the trouble.
The stupid woman from Ridge Racer.
No, what, Reiko?
A car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ridge Racer! That'd be great if that was one of the assist trophies. It just says, Ridge Racer! The car just goes flat.
Well, it's just like Captain Falcon's
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny. Well, no, it has to be doing 360s across the stage.
That's right.
Right.
And then there was the final stealth character announcement of Wii Fit Woman.
Yeah.
I hope that's what she's labelled as. Wii Fit Lady.
That's Wii Fit Trainer.
Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah. She's got her own stage, is she? Like boards and
shit.
shit.
I'm sure they all do now.
Is she still rendered in grey with the blue top?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's a bit weird having someone so anatomically correct like in the game. It's a bit weird.
Well, I mean, there was Snake, I guess, and Samus technically.
Yeah.
I suppose Link is fairly
sensible, apart from the obvious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I wonder what they're going to do about Fire Emblem this time around. Because now that they've actually had a more recent Fire Emblem that has been more popular.
I think they've said, well, they put they're updating the model, so the Kid Icarus guy is the one from the new Icarus Uprising, and I think they're doing that with.
Well, there's probably not a lot to update there, is there? Because they made that, so they can just pull their own model.
But then again, I mean, what did they have last time? They had Ike.
Yeah.
From one of the Fire Emblem games.
Even less known.
And who was the other one? That they did still have Marth, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did still have Marth, yeah.
But they can't have him any longer. Or they can if they want to, I guess. But spoilers for Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS, the Marth in that game is not actually Marth. Because firstly, it's a woman, which is fairly obvious from very early on, but no one figures that out.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they're going to have to totally change Marth to a woman in New Smash Bros.
Yeah, they could do that. That'd be good if they did. Well, they no, they didn't change Marth much, did they? Between Brawl and Melee,
pretty much the same.
Yeah,
it was just Ike that was different from Roy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Roy. Sorry, I'd forgotten about him. Roy. Yeah, they're again sort of similar idea, like heavy versions, but
different.
Ike was more different than Roy was
because he had the ridiculous Aether, spinny sword thing.
Yeah,
which technically Aether is a move that you get in Fire Emblem Awakening for the main dude in that Chrom. He has one of his special skills is Aether. It's not great Aether though.
It's totally going to be Chrom, isn't it?
Maybe. I was thinking about it. I quite like it if they just took your character from Fire Emblem, because he's like the tactician is what he's generically called before you call him anything. Before you call him yourself, but he's like, I think his character model's cooler. Like his ridiculous cloak. They do both have better.
Different Pokemon.
Well. But they used, the fucking Generation 1 Pokemon for Pokemon Trainers, so I think they could probably keep that if they wanted to.
I agree with you, they probably could, but I reckon they would change it.
But to what? I mean, I don't think X and Y... Well, yeah, if they changed it to Pig, obviously, that would be... But then again, the other ones from that generation don't work. And if they're going to keep... If they... Don't just pick random Pokemon.
I want Pilot's
But you can't. They used the free.
What was the stupid tree one from Gold?
Sudowoodo.
Sudowoodo, that's right. That one is clearly the best ever Pokemon.
But they used the free starter.
Wasn't he rock or some shit?
Yeah, it was rock type.
That's why he was pseudo, right?
They used the free starter Pokemon, but in the 3 different stages of evolution. So I guess if you have Tepig, you'd have I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Pignite and Superior for the grass one. No, wait, Pignite is fucking Tepig's evolution. What am I talking about? What's the middle evolution of the water one? I can't even remember because no one cares about that fucking water otter.
No.
Apart from apparently everyone does. Screw you, Internet. It was the worst.
What's the internet's favourite Sea King, isn't it? Or something? Well, that was a joke ages ago, wasn't it?
It was a classic meme. The Sea Kings and the Slowpokes.
Is Sea King the big version of the shitfish?
No. Magikarp turns into Gyarados. Goldeen evolves into Sea King.
Oh, yeah, that's what shitfish. It's one of the shitfish.
Magikarp's
the really shitfish.
Yeah. The one that does nothing.
Goldeen. Well, the Goldeen did nothing
in Smash Bros. Yeah,
had possibly the best set of sound effects as well. Goldeen.
Apart from if you had Jigglypuff in German or French.
Pomelo. Rondoodoo.
So yeah, I guess that's that. They've made announced more characters maybe,
but not out till next year.
No. So yeah, that's fucking forever. I'm still not going to get a Wii U for ages.
There are some good deals going on eBay.
Not good enough. Because none of them involved Smash Brothers.
I think Rob's going to buy one soon. I have that feeling.
I
have a feeling.
I keep I do keep going back to look at it, but it's just with the high likelihood that I'm going to get 2 next-gen consoles in relatively quick succession. It's I need to save some pennies. Relatively quick.
So that was the end of the Nintendo stuff. Is there any other shit from general floor activities that we want to talk about?
Didn't hear much PC stuff. There was no Valve stuff.
No.
Of course there wasn't any Valve stuff.
Well, they sometimes show stuff behind closed doors.
Well, there was one thing that some reporters have said, that there was some super secret stuff there behind closed doors that is embargoed to hell, so they can't. They can say that they saw something, and that is all they can say
from someone.
Yeah.
Well, so, great.
There we go.
That's great.
You never know what that is because they'll just announce it properly. So the Fantasia stuff was there.
Still done.
I can't make up my mind about that. It looks cool in some way, like with the you're conducting the music kind of thing, and the particles and simple look to the game look kind of cool. And I'm kind of behind the whole remixing thing as well. That seemed to work quite well. Like, changing between musical styles of a particular song. But Fantasia and modern pop.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Not so sure. I mean, I suppose they're trying to make it appeal to kids, and how many kids walk.
And obviously, Fantasia is not appealing to kids at all because it wasn't intended for that purpose in the first place.
How many kids walk down the street singing Beethoven?
Fucking goddamn modern civilization.
Alright, bro.
Culture.
Alright, bro. Check out this sick tune. Wait, that's the
fucking Mexicans again.
No, Ski Sunday. I was thinking of. That's not right.
But if they wanted to make it appeal to young people, why even bother putting Fantasia in it at all? Just make it all fucking pop music.
Yeah, why did Disney have to be involved? I suppose Disney, maybe they were the publisher, and it's like, you got to tie this into a Disney product.
It was a bit of a severe tie-in if they're just the publisher and that was their demand. Because it's like, randomly...
There is going to be a flying whale, apparently.
Randomly make half the game this completely different tone because we demand it.
It is kind of weird. But it looked like a fine game. I suppose that's
as much of a game as it
might be. That's connected for Xbox One as well.
Yeah.
Although that will also be released on 360. So there's that. The developers of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the video game.
Yeah, that was in the Sony thing.
Yeah, that was hinted at. Mercenary Kings. What's it called?
Yeah.
Mercenary something.
Mercenary Kings.
Yeah. That looks pretty cool in a sort of Metal Sluggy sort of way.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see something else from those devs because, the Scott Pilgrim game is friggin' sweet. Blarg Fest 2, as we mentioned. Before E3 really kicked off, there was some... It's Capcom, isn't it? Castlevania?
Yeah.
Yeah, or was that Konami? I can never remember.
I'm fairly sure it's Capcom.
Not sure. Might be Konami. Anyway, they were there showing Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, which is a current gen title. So there. So what are you falling on, Dan? What are you gonna get? You gonna get one?
A console.
You gonna get one? You gonna get one?
I get one eventually.
You get one.
I'm leaning towards PS4, obviously, but I'm gonna start with a graphics card on my PC. Until there's a killer app. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with Microsoft. Because, even if they had a killer... Because usually I'd be like, well, all you need is a killer app and you've got me, basically. So Halo, for example, for the original Xbox, it was obvious. But if that original Xbox had all this bullshit tied in with it, it might have made me think twice,
Well, at the time, that would have been different, though, if it was.
Yeah, but...
Back in the age of shitty
this is the weird thing, as we said, it's like... Actually, with the exception of the 24-hour check-in, just how much bullshit is there, really? All they're saying is, we want to go digital. We're still going to offer you the discs as a way of loading stuff onto your console, but we want to go digital.
I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're pushing it too hard. It's like, Sony would probably want to go digital, they're not pushing it as fast.
Let's put this in a different way. What's the downside of Sony's disc-based approach? You're probably not going to be able to tie disc-based games and register them with an account, so they are available as a digital cloud game.
Unless all that Sony patenting about shit on the disc that they did actually turns out to form into something, rather than just being here's some patents we made.
I don't think you could endorse what I'm trying to say is I don't think you can have it both ways. I don't think you can have a disc-based, freely shareable game system and then have it so you can digitally tie that to an account as well.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's like if you buy a disc-based game, you have to expect that disc is your only means of getting that game's content.
It's not even the specific things, because that actually doesn't bother me. I prefer the Steam. For me, I don't tend to lend games and stuff, and so the Steam model. Oh, I do. That's true.
You can probably have your copy of Assassin's Creed 2 back.
Yeah, okay. But you know what I mean. It doesn't really bother me too much. But,
I've got that too.
Yeah. It's okay. I don't know. It's just the message is just anti-consumer, isn't it, from Microsoft? That's what's worrying.
And it was delivered with such arrogance.
That's the trouble. It just pisses me off. Anyway, but the fact is that
currently, ultimately the situation is there are some upsides with gold sharing and the family pool thing. There are some upsides, and of course access to all your games from anywhere without your disc. It's definitely an upside to the digital side. PS4 may have that. They haven't really. This is the interesting thing. Sony still haven't really told us about their digital side very much. How does their digital stuff work? There's been some things said currently I think on the system when you have a digital purchase, you can. The way that works is it's not actually tied to your account. When you download it, it gets tied to that box, but you can download it to 5 different boxes. So technically, under the current PlayStation system, as long as you personally sign into 5 different PlayStations, you can put it on 5 different PlayStations for your mates to play. It's not account locked.
I think they limited that to 2, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. That's where I was going with it.
You said currently, though.
I was trying to give you a comparison. So they have pulled back on that plan slightly, presumably because I'm guessing it was being abused.
Yeah.
You can probably tell where this shit ends up. So they're falling back on that. We don't know. Presumably, if that means you can then you're in dodgy ground if you have 2 PlayStations fail on you. It's where does that leave you? And they also, haven't really. Well, actually, no, I was about to say they also haven't explained how their, end of life scenario is going to work, but without checking, I suppose it doesn't matter if you have the data.
Yeah.
What I want to know, I guess this is prevalent, I suppose, from a game preservation point of view, but when the time comes, can you put that stuff on an external hard drive and run it from there? Does it have to actually be on the box because of the PlayStation's box-based restrictions? Also, this is my worry about both consoles. Actually, 500 gigs doesn't sound enough.
Yeah, well,
for a mandatory install.
PS4,
ecosystem.
You can do what you can on PS3. They confirm that, so you can upgrade to whatever. You can.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can
swappable drive still.
Consumer hard disk or
Excellent.
SSD or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Excellent. No, so, that's really good news.
Whereas Xbox, you can't at all.
No.
Yeah.
Which I think why?
I don't know.
What is the?
Don't know.
What is the downside to not allowing that?
Yeah, you just got a choice. Microsoft.
Or what is the upside for them for not allowing it? Sorry,
I don't know. I don't really. I guess warranty stuff, and I don't know.
Are they worried about an upsell that later on they'll release a special version with a terabyte? And well, this is the thing that gets me right. But Sky have offered terabyte Sky HD boxes for a good few years now. Surely a terabyte, if you're going to be an entertainment. If Microsoft were pushing their TV and entertainment thing as strongly as they say they are, they would put a big-ass hard drive in there.
Yeah,
they don't want you to store any of the entertainment stuff. It's all streaming.
I want you to rent it, I guess.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Bah.
So, yeah.
I think that's dumb. I think they should put terabyte drives in both. Minimum terabyte drives.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. Generally,
how many games can you install really?
No.
Like before you run out of space? Probably not many. 9, maybe, because installs are going to be massive.
How big is a Blu-ray disc?
80 gig, I think. I was about to say 60. 60 seems to spring to mind, but I think you can go up to 80.
It's quite a lot.
And apparently in some cases they choose to do that because it means they don't have to compress some things.
Right.
So the PlayStation will stream load textures in an uncompressed form and they just go straight into memory rather than having to go through a decompression loop. I don't know how true that is, but I heard that at some point.
Yeah.
Because I worry about the speed of Blu-ray to achieve that. There's a lot of streaming going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like the Xbox controller better because I liked the 360 controller better, and not a lot has changed.
That's probably true. Yeah, me too.
But they say the new PS4 controller is pretty sweet, as in it's kind of the same, but everything about it is better.
Yeah.
Whereas I've heard on the Xbox side, I've heard somewhat conflicting opinions about the new triggers.
Right.
Some say they're a bit weirdly less resistant now.
Okay.
And I guess that's like whatever you're used to. They're probably fine still, but it's like everyone's used to the Xbox triggers.
Yeah.
And I've never been so much of a fan of the triggers on the PlayStation controller if I wanted to play racing games. So.
No, but they've changed again, haven't they? They're better again, so...
Yeah, I always felt there's a little less control in them.
Yeah, it's true.
But I don't know, maybe Sony will turn it around, but I have faith in what Microsoft Studios deliver more than any of SOE, or, it would be SOE because that's online entertainment, but any of Ski or Skia or
Sony's first party
Sketch.
stuff, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't seen any killer apps on Xbone except for Titanfall, which look really fun, but I think that will... I really hope that is a success on PC because I think that'd be cool. So that means that the thing that you need a console to play that might be fucking amazing is Destiny, and then you need to pick the console.
Have they definitely said there's no PC version?
No, they haven't said that, but they definitely is on the consoles.
Right.
So
yeah.
And
you could just play that on 360 or PS3 or whatever.
Oh, that's true.
It's true.
I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, we haven't seen much of those versions.
No,
that's not going to look much cop, but yeah. That'd be crazy if that's on PC.
Oh, actually, weren't they making Titanfall for 360? Well, I think I heard that.
With Titanfall as well?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
I think I heard
that. That can't work, because that's like, if they're a small team, you're saying, that's like a totally different architecture.
Yeah,
it'd be a lot easier to make it for PS4 than it would for 360.
Maybe it wasn't about that. I heard something about someone was outsourcing
oh, right.
the 360 version of one of the big titles.
Mm.
Might have been Call of Duty, actually.
Could have been COD Ghosts or something. Yeah.
Getting confused.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
I suppose there is COD Ghosts as well, but that's not an exclusive.
I mean, if I'm lucky, all this shit will come out on PC and I won't have to worry. That's the word trend, isn't it?
Well, COD
but
will.
it's quite... Yeah, well,
there'll always be exclusives.
Yeah, but they're much less than
multi-platform games will probably get a PC release.
Yeah, there's less exclusives than there were, you have to say, just in general.
Really?
It feels that way to me. I don't know.
There's a lot of exclusives. There always has been. Most of what was mentioned in the Microsoft conference, don't forget, will be exclusives.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The Metal Gear wasn't.
Metal Gear wasn't. Rise was. Forza will be. I haven't got my list in front of me, but pretty much everything we talked about was an exclusive. Remember, we got like halfway down that conference, and it's like, all of that's exclusive.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't care about Killer Instinct. You know what I mean? True. It's like, Forza, awesome, great, yeah, but I'm not buying console for that, at least not yet. And I no longer
we haven't seen anything from Epic.
Yeah, that Epic game that they announced ages ago, because Cliffy B left, but they announced that cool game, and it's like, what's happened to that? Anyway, but that certainly won't be exclusive, especially now. The Unreal Engine is going to run like a stink on both the new consoles.
Yeah, plus the Microsoft deal for Gears of War has run
expired.
Out.
Yeah, so
we might not see any more Gears of War.
And hopefully the Epic stuff will come out on PC as well, whatever it is. I don't see why not.
They had a history of it before Gears of War turned up.
I don't see why not. So generally things are looking bright for PC games.
Yeah.
And I
suppose it's a good, as confused as I am about which one I actually want. Or maybe that's the other thing. Maybe the Xbox would be a friendlier thing to use day to day because we haven't seen PS4's OS, so we don't know.
Well, we don't know, I guess.
Yeah,
I think the PS4 does strike me as really good value. Like it's an amazing machine for £350. So if you were
given that we thought that the cost of the RAM was potentially going to push it up,
like
about the same amount as the Kinect must cost.
Like if you were a teenager and you couldn't afford a gaming PC, then that would be, amazing.
Good in.
And you had to pick one console, it'd be like
good in.
Yeah. So, and as for PR victory, obviously Sony just ran away with
so much.
but that doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Sony are yet to put a foot wrong in this run up. But then again, the Sony have been, with the exception of the PS3 launch, Sony are generally really good at this stuff.
They screwed up when obviously the PSN got hacked, and that was a disaster.
They handled,
they handled
their public side to how they handled that was actually really good.
That's true.
When they then had to do the conference at E3 that followed that, they were really humble about it, saying we screwed up. So, and if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have had instant game collection.
So
it spawned that whole idea.
Yeah. So, that's
I'm not encouraging hack them and things will get better, but...
Well, that still might happen with Microsoft. It's like everyone just tries to take all the Xbox One shit down on day one and bones them.
So I think I'm going to do as that for a while and be console free for at least 6 months or something, see how it goes. That's my current plan.
Bit of me was kind of hoping one of us would get one and then maybe the other one would get the other.
Yeah, I don't...
I'm going to Eurogamer Expo before they launch, so that may make my mind up.
Yeah, get to give them a try. Play some Titanfall matches.
Although I wish this wasn't so expensive. Oh, it's so annoying.
Well, it's only because it's got that connector. Just think
so annoying. The connector that's not used.
Yeah.
Grr.
You might use it. Oh, of course, there's no games.
There's no for it.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm sure there'll be a shitty fitness game by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
Trust Ubisoft to come out.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Shit, something out.
All right, then. E3 2013. Done.
Yeah, that's the wrap up. And thanks for joining us on this extremely long podcast.
It's like midnight.
Yeah.
My throat hurts.
And it's time to
now
go
I
home.
get to drive down all the way fucking home.
How's our time? I just looked and there's no trains home tomorrow at all. So
this works
I'm
out.
going to be stuck.
Good.
Never mind.
Oh, wait, stuck at Evansville?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to have to beg my mum for a lift to Cambridge, which is fucking biased.
I got to Cambridge, please.
Oh well. Fuck's sake. Right. Thanks for lasting through this crazy ass podcast. Well, yeah, I think there will be, but it's freaking slow. I haven't even got a ticket.
Who likes a bus?
Yeah, exactly. They always have to stop in because they're on the A14 and then they're like, oh, we're going to Cambridge. Oh, no, wait, we have to go off to some village where there's a station and then come back out on the A14 and then, it's like,
really slow.
Fucking Jesus. Anyway. Right, yes. Thanks for joining us and catch you next time on the Saladcast.
Business as usual in 2 weeks.
Indeed.
Maybe. Because we're so business as usual.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.